Alright, so here we go. Just for you, Deanna. We'll get this started. Well, looks like you got your wards. One thing you might want to consider is getting a vision ward and then one or two wards. It's always good to be able to counter ward them for your jungler, even at the very start of the game, so you can get some early ganks going on. Food for thought. So a lot of this is probably going to be just not a lot of talking from me, unless it's about you, since this is for just you. Just a little FYI. Also, here, let me pause this real quick. You know, all of you being right here is fine and dandy, but that actually does nothing for you. Usually having someone here and over here in this bush, that's gonna better help protect your blue instead of just staying grouped up right here, because you have no vision right here or right here. Let me pause this again. So you have no idea if they're actually going to be invading, you know, through either way. Now, if you want to stay grouped up right there, that's fine. Use your Explorer ward and, you know, either put it here or over here and try. That way you have a maximum vision of what you're doing and if they're coming, so you can disengage and engage on them. That's good ward placement. That is also good ward placement. Let me pause that. Okay. Let me come back to right. Let me go back just a little bit more. Alright, so there's your ward placement. Then you come down. That right here, that's a problem. Mainly for the fact that A, you're way out of position. If this was a Vayne, or if this was a smart Leona, they would have instantly hopped all over you since you were out of position, and they probably could have got a free kill out of it. That just food for thought. Usually when you ward, come back up and around. That way you don't ever get caught out of position. Because if this was a Vayne or a Blitz sitting right here, you could have been pulled. Vayne could have tumbled and just pinned you against the wall, and that would have been GG. Now, there was another issue coming up. Alright, you saw that she was there, you placed your ward, which was good. Your jungler is right here, and they're pushed up. This could easily turn into be some kills. Okay, let's stop it again. you don't stay near your AD carry for some reason. You stay way back here. That's not good. Mainly for the fact that A, you can't shield Vayne, and you can't pop them up quickly from where you're at, way back there. See, Vayne pinned. You were delayed on your tornado. That tornado should have came up and popped her up with you right next to your Vayne as soon as she pinned him to give you added CC. And as a result, you lost your kill. See, that's your Vayne sitting there at low health, and you still haven't shielded once. But you did take tornado first. So, I mean, that's kind of on you and the AD carry on what you want to take first, but I don't know. That was a good pop-up. Yep, see, you didn't shield her. Good job on last hitting when your AD carry's not in lane. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, let's go back to this. There we go. All right. So you see that your ward is about to run out, but you're pushed all the way to your tower with a pretty big creep wave, and you're just a little over half health. Now I understand that you used your tornado to try to clear a path for yourself, but they saw it coming a mile away, And you went directly in the middle of their entire creep wave and gave Caitlyn free access to shoot you. And this Leona, if she was any kind of smart, would have instantly just jumped right on you and locked you down, which she missed. Now, if she would have landed that, that would have been a fed kill. So stuff like that should probably try to avoid. Like, you could have planted that ward safely right now when your lane was pushed, instead of taking that risk. And this would also be the time you'd probably use that pink. Just so your jungler could come gank your lane since they have been pushed. See that right there? Not good. Not good. Once again, your AD carry was back here. You warded like you should have, but instead of going back and around, you went to the bush, popped your head out. They saw that you're out of position, and because Leona was bad, you didn't die instantly. But I mean, that's just another instance to where you could have easily fed another kill if this Leona would have been any sort of kind of not derp. Good shield. I do want to comment on that. Let's go, yeah. Let's go back a little. A little bit more. Alright, so you came back around. Your jungler's coming in for lane gank. Your Vayne gets caught, pulls her into the tower. You did. Now, the thing is you blew your tornado a little early. You probably should have waited about 2 seconds as she was fleeing. I mean, you guys still got the kill, which is okay, but I mean, if the Caitlyn was smart, she just would have went straight back to her tower instead of allowing herself to get killed. But food for thought. Now I have a slight problem with that first back purchase. I mean, yes, you need Sightstone, but you need gold in your GP5s more than you need your Sightstone first. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, you should probably got your Philo Stone first, then got your, started working on your Sightstone. Mainly for the fact that you want, your Philo and your GP5 as early as possible so you can get that money flowing in as fast as possible. So it can A, pay off that Philo Stone, and B, you'll have the money for wards until you get your Sightstone. And you'll have that extra money for your vision wards, which you still have not bought, which is something you should really correct. Because, you're not able to clear any of these wards. That was a good pop-up on the 80 carry. Shield was a little late. I don't know why you used it there. But yeah, I can't stress enough, Deanna, that you need vision wards. You need to be able to clear out their wards. You need to have ward control. That's your only job. Between supporting your ADC, you need to be able to sit there and have ward control of your lane, so your jungler can come gank as much as he possibly wants. The more your jungler can gank, put pressure on a lane, the less this happens right here. They're keeping pressure on your lane. You can't effectively, engage them. They have control over your lane. Your AD carry is losing CS because the minions are pushed to tower. It's just a big chain effect that this all helps to relieve. Good shield. Good ult. You didn't die, but you waited until the very end to use exhaust when you should have used it on Caitlyn as soon as the fight started. Because basically what happened is you just wasted your exhaust for no reason. See, right there, you could have exhausted him right here. Probably would have got you killed on Jax. Yeah, see, let's stop. Let's stop right here. Alright, your Vayne is now buying vision wards and wards. That's a big problem. Your AD carry should never, and I mean never, regardless of how farmed she is or how ahead she is in kills, be buying wards and vision wards at the start of the game or even in the midpoint of the game. That's not good. Because that reduces her money towards her build that she needs to build. As it stands 13-minute mark, 11-minute mark, she has no tier 1 boots. Those 3 wards that she bought, those are boots right there. That's why, I said earlier, it's paramount that you get your GP5, A, as soon as possible, and B, you buy vision wards. Because, this entire time, you had no ward coverage here. Okay? Now, they were bad as well and didn't have any either. But you should always have this pinked. Or you should have this pinked. That allows your jungler to come in, gank. Much easier, and you can tell your jungler at all points and times, River's not warded, Try's not warded, come down and gank to your heart's content. But, your AD carry should never be buying wards because you're not doing it. Yeah, you have your Sightstone, but, that's only going to get you so far. because you have double wards here, which is a waste of money and a waste of wards. Yeah, see, let's pause again. And, you know, we're at the 12.5 minute mark. And yes, you have your Ruby Sightstone, but you still have no GP5s. So, I mean, it's not good. And, you know, the Leona has already made 170 gold off of her Philo Stone. You know, that's 2 wards or a vision ward right there, on top of the wards that she's been buying. You know, I'm just, in the long run, it's going to help you more. You know, I don't know what your runes and masteries are. I don't know if you're running, you know, GP5 Quints, runes. Yeah, that wasn't good. First thing you should have done was popped her up. And also, I mean, I kind of want to stress that let's see how this goes. It wasn't too bad. I also kind of want to stress that you want to keep, you know, Vayne shielded as much as possible, simply for the fact that, you know, one of the benefits of your shield is it also increases her attack damage. Let's go back on that. Let's go back a little bit more. Alright, so you went to go back. Let's stop right there. Alright. Now, you died because you have 0 ward coverage. Right here. Yes, you've been warding here, but you always want to ward right here. Simply for the fact that, you know, yeah, it's okay to kind of ward there, but you're not going to have vision of, you know, if their jungler's coming, you know, through here to do dragon, you don't have vision of them coming over here like Riven did to come kill you. So always keep it warded here during lane phase. Yeah. See, 15-minute mark, you bought your first vision ward. Which generally isn't a good thing, because around the 15-minute mark is when lane phase, generally ends for at least one lane. See, you did it again. That is a habit you have to break. Running through the entire minion wave, coming over here to ward. This game alone, you were very lucky that this Leona was bad enough to where she didn't punish you every time you did that. See, and I know a lot of people do this, but a lot of people do this in bronze ELO. All right, that vision ward at the 16-minute mark should be here. No ifs, ands, or buts, because you need to have vision over dragon. Yes, it's not there, but that's not going to say, the next game or the game after or whatever, that there's not going to be a ward there. You always need to have vision in this general area to see if someone's coming to do dragon or someone's coming, back behind you to kill you. There is no viable reason for a ward to be here and not right here. You get more ward coverage and you get more vision for doing that. So, in closing, vision wards go here, sightstone wards go and try. That way you have complete coverage of who's coming in and out of your lane regarding mid or jungler. Yep, see, you waited a little too long on the shield. I'd say at this current point in time, your first priority, since you know that Caitlyn has to go back, the thing that you and your lane partner want to do is shove this lane as fast as you can. That includes you, killing the minions as well. The reason why is because you want to shove, their creep wave to their tower. That way, Caitlyn is going to be losing out on CS, and your ADC will be farther up in CS over her. Now here's another issue. As I can see you're starting to push, you have no ward coverage in try. That means this Riven's going to come through here. Let's see what she does. You have no idea that she's there, and now you're going to get attacked for it. And you die. And yes, you did come here to ward, but that actually got you killed. because you didn't have any ward coverage there in the first place. Which just got your Vayne killed. Because A, your Vayne stayed in lane when she knew Riven was there and she didn't back off. So that's not your fault, that's Vayne's fault for not being smart. So lane phase is now over. Let's take a pause. Lane phase is now over. All right. Let's go over some of the issues that we've seen. First and foremost, you are now at the almost 19-minute mark, and you just now got your Philo Stone. Well, you got it a little bit earlier, but you're only at 109 gold for your Philo. Realistically, your Philo should be your first back. You should be getting your Philo and at least 1 to 2 wards. Now, the next issue is ward placement. Placing wards in this little bush, that's just not good. You got to stop that habit. You always want to place them right here. Simply for the reasons I stated earlier. It gives you more coverage, more vision of what's going on. You have vision of dragon. You have vision if people are coming up behind you, behind your tower. And, lastly, you need a ward try. And you need to keep it warded. And with wards is, if at all possible, you always want to overlap your ward. So, if your ward here or your ward here, has 5 seconds left, place a ward on it before it dies. That way you have non-stop coverage and can always see what's going on. So situations like this, which just happened of Riven coming down here, you face checking the bush to ward something that wasn't warded, got you killed, got Vayne killed because she was bad enough to stay in lane. And, fixing these issues is going to, fix a lot of your deaths and deaths of your partner in your lane. See, now that's something I really don't understand. Okay, you saw that Jax was right here. You saw that Riven was mid. You knew that Kate was back. So Jax was out of position. And when Jax showed himself, all three of you ran the other way. That's not good. Okay, so let's go back over this. All right. So you're right here. You guys get caught out. Now Cassidon tries running for his life, and he didn't do the right thing. He split himself off away from the group instead of teleporting himself back here in the relative safety of the group. And you saw that he was low on health, and you followed him. Okay. to try to save him. He's dead. At this point in time, when you see his health this low, he is dead. Yes, you did pop her up. And she flashed. And you see that he has 100 health. Alright, you know for a fact that he is either going to die or get away, regardless of what you do. Alright? Now, directly below you, you see that Lee Sin is sandwiched in between Leona and Jax. And Vayne is right behind you, and she's going to come around and she's going to help Jax. And, you know that he is dead or going to get away. One of the two. You can, at this point in time, can do nothing to save him. Or help him. But you follow up, you leave the group with full health, full cooldown. And as a result, Lee Sin gets stunned. He gets pulled upon. There's Kate. And at this point in time, you being right here or right here with your team, being able to pop them up and or ult them away, would have saved your team. Or at least not caused a triple kill. So basically what you did is you left, the bulk of your team to try to help someone who is either dead or going to get away, guaranteed, regardless of what you did, because at that point in time you have tier 1 boots. Riven had already flashed. She has, gap closures and high mobility, and so does he. You have no chance of catching up to them. And you left your team with full cooldowns, and you were not able to help them whatsoever. Which caused a triple kill, and the loss of this tower, I am guessing. Now, let's stop again. Yes, you ordered here to keep track of your blue, but you still have, no ward coverage over here. Because you have your wards here in this bush. Now, this is something I have an issue with. You decided to go to mid to farm instead of staying behind your tower here and throwing nados and shields on your tower while 3 people came up. Which, there's no telling what could happen. Say you were hiding out over here, and while they're coming up, you came over here, threw a tornado, popped them up. This allows them, right before they got to them, to hard engage. You come around, ult, push them back even further under the tower, which would almost guarantee you a triple kill for your team. Let's see how it plays out. Now, you could have been right here, popped them up, and or ulted, and pushed them back into your team, and under the tower. But, you're a little late to the party. Now, they did pick it up. They did get 2 kills for 1. And 1 got away. Now, if you were there, you could have got all 3. One of your teammates didn't have to die. Just food for thought. There was literally no reason for you to be over here. Instead of over here at the tower when you knew your teammates were coming up and coming down. You do have it all warded. See, let's stop. Let's stop again. Okay, so you were coming up right through here over the bush, and he was here, and you saw he was slowed. There's no reason for you not to put a tornado right here and quick cast it right over the wall to pop him up. Yes, they got the kill, but still. That was a nice pop-up. See? There should have been... You should have shielded him while he was auto-attacking to give him extra damage. No, it would have made a difference of whether, you know, they would have died or not, but it's still mechanics. See, this entire time, from them being right here to them being right here, you should have thrown a tornado. That would have been an instant hard engage because they were all completely clumped. And that was a bad ult. Instead of getting 3, you got 2. Yeah, let's stop that. Let's go a little back. Okay. Alright, your Lee Sin just initiated. Hard initiated, alright? You and Nasus go up to this tower. Cassidy stays out of here, out of his range. Now, you know, as I was stating, mechanics, as a support, your first reaction, seeing him dive under tower at 2 people with no creep wave, for one, A, he was stupid. He shouldn't have done that. For B, the first thing you should have done is stayed right here so he could immediately shield it back to you and got himself out of danger. But you ran away from him and he died for it. When he could have easily just jumped right to you. Yeah. Let's go back again. Now, I'm not sure if this is a case of, I don't know. Let's go over this play-by-play. Let's go back a little bit further.
Purple team double kill.
Bear with me. Yeah. Yeah. See that right there? There was no reason for you to die. You had 0 mana, you had 250 health, and you were right within his melee range for no reason. You know, at that point in time, you should be back here being. Because you know with no mana and no health, you're not going to be able to contribute to your team. Now, let's stop. Alright? Let's stop and go over wards. You do have one that just expired on Dragon. You have one right here. But that's it. That's all the wards you have. At the 27-minute mark. You should have wards here, 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 Dragon, here. And maybe on blue if you want to watch your blue. And that's just defensively. And I'm not saying this is just you, but this is the whole team. You know, you should also have wards in their jungle, you know, here where their ward is, you know, and over here to see where they're going. You know, being able to ward effectively by yourself or as a team will give you the advantage. Simply with the fact that you know where they are at all times. So, for instance, you know, these two were to come over here, and you saw that they were coming over here, you could sit here and wait for them. You know, or sit here if they were going to go check Dragon. Yeah, there was no need for that ult. You completely just wasted that ult for no reason. And now, at this point in time, this would have been the time to use your ult. And you once again ran away from your Lee Sin, and your Lee Sin has no one to jump to get away. Yeah. Now, that entire time you're running around here with 250, 300 health, and they were 3 deep, and you had no one there to help you, there was nothing you could possibly do to save this tower or prevent them from poking this tower. Yes, you cast a shield on it, but they're going to do that damage regardless. So when you're that low health and by yourself, when they're shoving a tower 3 hard, just go back. You can't save it. You can't prevent it from going down or them doing damage to it. Just be safe. Yep. And do you know why that just happened? Because you have no wards in the critical spots, like this one right here. So that Jax was able to come back and around here while your team dove one person and was able to kill both of those people because they had no sight on what Jax was doing. Yeah, see, let's watch this again. All right. First, you throw a skill shot out here, which misses both of them, which isn't an issue. Alright, now, you know that no one is around you. It's just you and Jax. Or you and Lee Sin. Your Vayne's bot. The 2 other people are dead. And you see Leona coming up behind you. Okay, because at this point you do have vision. Now, your first instinct is you should be running. Because there's no way with how progressed this game is, and these guys are pretty they do damage, so you can't 1v3 them with you and Lee. Your first reaction should be to run and get ahead of Lee Sin, simply for the fact of mechanics. Lee Sin can always escape to an ally with his shield. Alright, let's play it out. Now, this ult right here. I know that it was more likely a reaction ult, but it was a bad ult. Simply for the fact that, one, you're standing in the middle of Rumble's ult, which means you're severely slowed. Okay? So they're going to be able to re-engage back on you instantly. The first thing you should have done is, if you had flash, which you don't, to exhaust one of these guys, shield yourself, and run. Get ahead of Lee Sin so he can jump to you and you guys can get away. But now, you're stuck by that alt. You had to run away from Lee Sin. While he was running back towards the tower, you were running the opposite direction of him to get away from that alt. You would have been better just to walk straight over it and go with him. And you come back behind him, and he's dead because he CC'd. So, better use of your alt instead of using it as a reaction to when something immediately bad happens. Let stuff play out. Lee's tanky. And you also need to keep in mind and be aware of your positioning of, someone playing Lee Sin. That way you can always be in the position to help him escape something if something goes wrong. Now, for example, when he was here and he was about 400 health, you could have easily been right next to him if you would have just went through Rumble's ult, stayed with him, ulted, pushed all of them back, ran forward, and let him jump to you. Because at that point he was CC'd by Leona and, Riven and whatever. There was not much you can do. You had no ults. It was 4v3. That was a nice tornado. And that was a nice counter push. Yeah. See, and I'm going to pause right here. What you guys are doing is right. What this Vayne is doing wrong, I don't know if he's a regular of yours, he or she, but, they have 3 people down. You saw 2 of their people go back. That Vayne should have been right there with you because Vayne's your AD carry. She's going to be doing most of the damage to Baron. And now she comes. But, Baron is an objective, and Baron should be first priority instead of CSing the lane. Just food for thought. Alright, let's pause again. We're now at the 32-minute mark. Let's go over ward coverage again. Yes, you do have, your Ruby Sightstone, but you did have Baron warded, which is the right thing to do. You had here warded, which was the right thing to do. But you have no wards here. You have no ward on Dragon. I'm not sure if you guys are keeping count of Dragon timers. You have no wards in your jungle for except for right here. But, there should be wards here, 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 as well as Dragon. See, that right there? Don't ever do that. There's no point of that. Why would you ward Baron when there's no Baron? And they know that you just took it. It's a waste of a ward. That's a bad habit. Don't do that. It was a good job. And why? Because you caught them because of the ward. Now, I do want to go over something pretty important as I'm looking at your build at the 33-minute mark. Yes, you got Locket of the Iron Solari, which will negate 200 damage. But in all honesty, probably the first item you should be building, or the second, is Aegis. That's going to reduce a lot more damage for your team than Locket will. Locket is a very niche item used by specific champions or in very specific situations. You always want to get Aegis if no one else is building on your team, because it's going to help your team a lot more than that Locket will. That was the right call to shield her for the extra AD. But you should also remember you want to use your shield as much as for offensively as defensively. You know, at this current point in time, you know, your shield grants 50 AD. That's huge numbers, especially for someone like, you know, your Vayne, who's running attack speed. And that Locket burn, that was a waste. They weren't chasing. And they were hard engaging, so I mean, it was a waste of a cooldown. Now, see, as soon as you hit that marker right here, you should have instantly tornadoed, because they were all in a straight line. And they still are.